going to now start with the NFL. Giants lose to the Bears 24-20 in Chicago. And Dom, I'm going to say this. It was an unfortunate loss, but it kind of worked out for me because I made a reel that you were in where you expressed your displeasure in one person in the coaching staff that Dom's going to get into. And on top of that, you mentioned, of course, in the reel how these players aren't really showing any motivation or care to play. And they ended up losing the game. So it was a perfect moment for me to post that reel after the loss. So that actually worked out well for me. But yeah, they lost 24-20 in Chicago. Jackson Dart got concussed in the game. And Dom, you got your wish, pal. Go ahead.
Yes, I did. Well, first of all, this is why I hate all of these high top end media outlets. They wanted him gone, right? Beforehand, before the firing. Analysts and beat writers wanted him gone. Everyone's like, all right, it's going to happen. There's no way it's going to wait till the end of the season. It's going to happen sometime in the middle of the season. And now that the news came out that he's fired, people are saying, "Oh, I think this was a big mistake. Oh, he had something great going on with Jackson Dart. Oh, it should have been the GM first." Like, you really piss me off. You really piss me off with this. You're just doing it just to say the other narrative. You're not saying it because you actually believe it. And this is why these people get paid to say this. Just something else, just so you can argue with your other coworker. That's all that this is. So don't take any of that. Don't take any of that smoke from any of these analysts. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to that game, like to the Giants versus Bears game, I've never seen anyone try to get fired so bad. The way that he coached this game, he wanted to get fired, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or he's part of this betting thing. It's one of the two. There's no way. Number one, you're kicking on the 1 yard line, a field goal on the 1 yard line. Meanwhile, the whole bench is going at you, trying for you to change your mind. And he's like, nah, nope, I'm taking the points. That's number one. You're trying to literally running Jackson Dart into the ground. Then he gets hurt. And then number three, Russell Wilson, he wasn't even allowed to throw the ball. He can still throw. He still has a great arm. Like, I don't understand the game plan of that. It's just you running the ball to death and trying to just waste the clock instead of trying to go downfield and trying to score. No one on this earth can tell me that he wasn't trying to get fired. He gave up. He gave up on this team. And I think the scariest thing about it is, I think he would still be the coach right now if Jackson Dart didn't get hurt. That was the last straw. That was absolutely the last straw of him being hired. I'm being fired, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've said this throughout the entire season. He needs to stop running. He needs to slide. He can't be trying to truck people. And look what happened. And this isn't the first time. This is his fourth time getting evaluated for a concussion. Somehow he beat all three other chances, and now this fourth time he actually has a concussion. You have to protect your franchise/rookie quarterback. And that's what he didn't do. And then people will tell you, he's young. He has the legs to do it. If you can do it now because he's so young. Do you not care about these players' health at all? Like, of course, you have to protect your quarterback. Obviously, look at now Jaden Daniels, even though it's his second year. Now look at RG3. Now, like, I can just go down the line. Like Teddy Bridgewater, I can say so many people, but we'll be here till tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the scary thing about it, that because he got hurt is why Daboll's fired. So now that game's over with. He's gone. Now we have a whole new coaching search. But do you know what's funny? Last coaching search, when Brian Daboll was getting interviewed, he was the only offensive-minded coach to be interviewed, and he got the job, which is pretty crazy because we had so many people. Like we had like Patrick Graham, we had Steve Spagnuolo, we had a few other people. I'm sorry, I just can't think of it right now. But the last time that we had a defensive-minded coach for the New York Giants was 1983. 1983.
I couldn't
And
even
you
believe
want to know who
that.
that was? Bill Parcells, two-time Super Bowl champion. And honestly, I agree that we need a defensive-minded coach. And then people are going to ask me, oh, why not an offensive coach? Why not? Because we have Malik Neighbors, we have Scatterbo, we have Jackson Dart. I've come to realize after this big realization after 2 weeks, I think it can be anyone that can run this team. Well, from an offensive standpoint, we have too much talent. And now that we have a good offensive line, our offense is going to come into fruition next year if we play like this. If our offensive line plays like this, I feel like I can coach the freaking team. I could be the OC, honestly. Like, we have too much. We have too much now. We have too much of an offense now to mess up. And after all these years, we finally had an offensive line. We did not have an offensive line, and now we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? Give me just a new brain. Just give me a new brain as offensive coordinator or head coach. Because obviously now Mike Kafka, the offense coordinator, is the interim head coach. And he'll still be running plays. He'll be the offensive coordinator for this team as well. Do we know if he's going to be the head coach, or is he going to still be the offensive coordinator, or there's going to be two completely different people next year? We don't know. We have no idea. But it is time for us to have a defensive mind. And there's some names that have been coming out there. The one that I really like the most, and the one that Chris agrees with me as well, is Steve Spagnuolo.
How did that guy not get hired, Dom?
He probably just didn't want to leave. He probably wanted to win more Super Bowls, honestly.
I
Do
don't
I
blame
blame
him.
him? No. I
Yeah,
don't blame him at all.
neither do I.
I really don't. So honestly, that's one person. The Chargers defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, which the Chargers have been playing good this year. A little on and off, but they're a pretty solid group. Ex-Giant, Antonio Pierce. And now that's going to raise some eyebrows because people are like, oh, he was the head coach of the Raiders a few years ago and he didn't do nothing. Okay, but look at Pete Carroll now. They're just about the same. And Pete Carroll has more talent on this team than Antonio Pierce did.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, I really wouldn't be mad about that at all. He has a good defensive scheme when he was with the Raiders, even though the record didn't show for it, but they still got to the quarterback and they still shut down receivers with the limited amount of talent that they had. So honestly, I'll take him. And then, I mean, this is just maybe a crazy prediction, but I could possibly see the Giants trying to interview Bill Belichick. There's no way that he's going to be with North Carolina next year. And he is a person who has been in love with the Giants organization since the 80s. And he's open about that. So I can picture him trying to go for that job because he'll probably get fired after this year.
Hmm.
But if he doesn't, if he stays in North Carolina, oh well. But if he's available, you got to at least give him an interview. If not the greatest coach of all time, you got to give it to him.
Okay.
And then I'm seeing people out there say, "Oh, we should hire Lane Kiffin." Really? Do you know how much of a psychopath this dude is?
I wouldn't. Oh my God.
I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
No way. No.
So, if anyone asks, no, that's not happening.
No. That's
But now that I'm saying all these head coaches, right? None of this even really matters right now because Joe Schoen, he's definitely getting fired after this season. And then you have Dan Orlovsky on ESPN saying, why didn't he get fired now? Oh, you fired the wrong guy. It's so much harder to fire a general manager in the middle of the season rather than a head coach. That would just be a whole clusterfuck if they fired Joe Schoen right now. That's the end of the season move. So honestly, I'm telling you all these names, but realistically right now, they don't matter because we need to have a right-minded general manager and he has to be on the same page with the organization. So I mean, I don't really know much about general manager positions and I don't know who's available, who's not. The one person that I can think of who every time we need a general manager, one of the interview people is Louis Riddick from ESPN. Every time that we need a general manager, he's always a candidate. So maybe him. I mean, he knows football, obviously, and he knows what he's talking about, but I don't know if he can be a general manager of a team, but hey, we'll see.
Okay. I think that's a valid point when it comes to firing the head coach instead of firing the GM. I mean, Dom talked about a clusterfuck. Look what the Jets did last year. They fired Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas, and then poor Jeff Ulbrich had to get off his defensive coordinator duties and now become head coach. And now he's trying to be the head coach of the team and run the defense. I'll just give you a little tidbit. It didn't work out. Didn't go well. The guy tried, okay? They thought he could become the head coach. They obviously thought this before they fired Robert Saleh. And then they put him in the head coaching spot mid-season after what, week 4 or 5, whatever it was, and he just couldn't cut the mustard. Couldn't do it. And now he's the defensive coordinator for the Falcons, and the Falcons are one of the best, if not the best, defenses in the league. So for some people, you think, oh, he could be a head coach. Sometimes they can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Some guys can do it, some can't. Now Mike Kafka is going to be the interim head coach for the Giants. Dom, do you think this guy is cut out to be a head coach?
Honestly, I don't know. Only just because of this standpoint. What I've read of the firing of Brian Daboll, it wasn't even Joe Schoen's decision. It was the owners.
Hmm.
So now I'm starting to think, did Daboll and Kafka really have any say about anything? Even plays on the field? Even people that who they should play and who they shouldn't play?
I don't know.
Because now I'm just so confused of we have all these draft picks that Shane drafted and they don't even play. Why not? Evan Neal, he was supposed to be a starting guard or at least a backup guard for us because he was a terrible right tackle, so they put him at guard. He's not even dressing up. He doesn't even have pads on. We traded and gave away draft picks to get Jalen Hyatt. Don't even give this dude a chance. Is that Daboll? Is that Shane? Is that the ownership? Is it him? Was it Shane giving up Saquon? Which apparently it was because of the Hard Knocks. That was Shane's decision because the owner wanted Saquon Barkley and John Mara and Steve Tisch. So that's the only one where I can be like, that was Shane's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But what about John Feliciano, who was a great center for us? What about Xavier McKinney? What about all these dudes? Do these general managers even have a say in anything? Because they always praise to the choir, these owners for the Giants, that, oh, they're not really involved. It seems like you are in almost everything. And they were the ones that fired Brian Daboll, not Joe Schoen.
Right. Right.
And allegedly, they wanted to fire Brian Daboll on the plane ride back from Denver, but they had an argument about it, and one of the owners was like, no, we should keep him.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Wow. Huh.
I really can't give you an answer because I don't know where this organization is going to be. even in March.
Mm-hmm.
Is ownership finally gonna settle down? Are we gonna have a right general manager with Kafka? Is he actually gonna have say? Like, even though he is the coach, did he have any say at all, Daboll? I don't know.
Okay. All right. I get it.
And also, it's a little unfair to Kafka because throughout his whole entire time with this team for a few years, he had no talent and no offensive line. And this is
Mm-hmm.
finally his first year where he has a good squad, and then his entire offense gets hurt.
Yeah.
So, I
Okay.
mean, this is his interview right now. This is his interview for the head coaching job. So
Well,
we'll see how it goes.
Dom, that's what it was for Jeff Ulbrich last year. And
Yep.
he ain't a head coach. Yeah, he has a job. He's the defensive coordinator for the Falcons, but not a head coach. All right, so I'm gonna move on there. That's everything for the Giants. I'm gonna get into the Jets now. Well, they beat the Browns, second straight win. I mean, honestly, a couple of weeks ago, I thought this team was going 0-17. They could still go 2-15, but there's an interesting hot take I'm going to get into towards the end of my rant. Two special teams touchdowns in this game. Kene Ngwanwu, 99-yard kick return for a touchdown, and Isaiah Williams, 74-yard punt return for a touchdown. Thank God, because Justin Fields played like dog shit once again. 6 for 11 passing for 54 yards. I mean, it's like, do me a favor, just be a running back next year. One touchdown, one interception, sacked 3 times for 12 yards lost. QBR was a 15.8 with a passer rating of a 60.4. I'm not going to go deeper into that. That's just what it is. Brees Hall looks like a real top running back in the league with the recent games and his recent stretch that he's put together. 21 carries in this one, 83 yards. Longest run was 30. Was also a weapon in the passing game finally. I don't know what they were waiting for. One reception for 42 yards that led to a touchdown. Here's the thing, and I've said this multiple times on air, off air. Dom, you could agree with this because we've said this to each other over the years, for however long we've known each other. The Jets have talent on the team. There's talent there.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line, running back, wide receiver. I mean, Sauce is gone. Quinnen's gone. But Quinnen's brother, Quincy Williams, is still there. He's got talent. Bottom line is the Jets have talent on the team. But here's the problem. There hasn't been any form of consistency with this franchise for a decade and a half. There's no consistency. So with no consistency comes no success. You can never be successful in anything in life if you're not consistent with what you do. It's kind of like this podcast. If we're not consistent with what we do on this podcast, you can kiss any potential success goodbye and it's out the window. So any
Absolutely.
success that you want, you have to be consistent. And that's just not what the Jets are. Yeah, they'll win games, but you have an inconsistent quarterback. He has a stretch of 3-4 games where he looks terrible. And then he's got one good game and you're like, see, now if he could put that together week to week, they'll go somewhere. The problem is, folks, he can't. He can't. That's why it's his third team in 3 years. That's why he's going to be, and I've heard this from many different reporters and analysts, he will be a backup quarterback for the rest of his career. That's what Justin Fields is going to be. I mean, Woody Johnson, you got to ask him. I mean, he literally said the guy can't complete a pass. His words, not mine. So, and he's not totally wrong. It's just, you just don't say it to the media outlets about a quarterback that you had your hand in, hiring and acquiring, for this season. So with all that being said, this was a hot take that I got. Well, really both me and Dom got in a little chat. My town friend Matt, his hot take this morning, said it to me on Instagram and he said it to me via text. I mean, I don't know where to go with this one. Said this to me, he says, this is how I wrote this, okay? Matt's hot take on this cold Tuesday morning. The Jets will win on Thursday Night Football against the Patriots and go 10-7 the rest of the way to finally break the 15-year playoff drought and make the playoffs. Anyway, that's it for the Jets. So we're gonna move on now to the NBA.
My God, that was stupid. That was that
I'm like,
was
Matt,
just
I love you, buddy. Fantastic take there, but this is just I didn't even I just I laughed this morning. I didn't even I was a loss for words. I didn't know what to say. I was like, all right, if you want to say they win, okay, anything could happen. But we know the Jets don't particularly play well all the way up in New England, at their stadium, right? So it's Gillette Stadium is like a haunted house for the Jets for years now. But you want to say they're going to go 10-7 the rest of the way and make the playoffs? I mean, he was pretty adamant about it, but I don't know.
Chris.
I don't have
He
anything else to
he
say.
Chris, he got you, bro. He put us in the group chat. He wanted one of us to say it just cause how dumb it was. He got you. He tricked you bad. He really tricked you.
I mean,
But
listen, I enjoy humor. I enjoy humor. I like putting it in the pod. I thought it was good. Thought it was a nice little, icebreaker from maybe some seriousness to then have some laughter. So I don't know. I guess you could say he tricked me, but I was I told him immediately, I was like, that'll be on the pod this morning and stay tuned for when it
what
gets published. You'll hear your shout out. I thought it was good.
he's in our he's in our league, right?
Of course he
Is
is.
he?
Oh yeah.
I
Team
mean,
name, yeah.
6-4. Solid. All
No,
right.
he's won. He's won the
All
league
right.
a couple of times, but he knows what he's doing
He
somewhat.
did.
Um, so
All right, so I
yeah,
check his credentials real quick. That's
yeah.
I'm 7-3 by the way, but he's 6-4. So
Oh,
saying,
damn. All right,
saying.
I got you. Okay.
It's all right.
All right.
I'm
Well,
gonna go to the
I don't
promised
want to
land.
keep. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to put too much attention on that, Dom. I'm glad you have a better record, though. That's good.
Absolutely.
That's real good. All right.
I, I'm
Well,
I'm going.
that's
I'm going.
yeah. I know. I'm sure you are.